Plaintiff Veronica Travier says she's here in a desperate attempt to save her son, the defendant. Veronica claims the defendant has been arrested numerous times, and the police once surrounded her home with guns drawn as a result of his behavior. She's suing her son today because he deposited 4 bad checks into her bank account. Defendant Dominique Travier admits that he's made a lot of mistakes, but insists he's trying to better his life, despite the fact that he got into trouble with the law just last week. Dominique insists he had no idea the checks were fraudulent.
All right, tell me what's going on.
Your Honor, I'm here today as a desperate final attempt to try to save my son's life. He is on the path to destruction and fast. He has been arrested numerous times, most of which he has not been charged for. He's stolen my car twice, one of which I was in the hospital. He's taken basil from my kitchen cabinet and sold it as marijuana to someone, which could have gotten him killed if it was someone else. In turn, these people retaliated by filing false armed robbery charges against him, causing Oakland County Sheriff to come to my house one morning while I was leaving out with my daughter for work, with guns all in our faces like a scene from Cops. It was blasted all over the TV.
So why hasn't he been convicted of anything?
Well, he was not charged, it was false.
But you say he's been arrested several times.
Right.
So what about?
Slapped on the wrist for different things he's walked away from. And then he started gambling on school property. Then he learned how to fix the dice, planning on cheating someone out the money or whatever. And then
What have you been doing when he does that? Do you?
Punishing him.
Okay. His dad around?
No, his dad left when Dominique was 11. That's when all the trouble really started. He used to be like a straight A student and like a good kid in math. He was a math whiz.
Your dad isn't involved with you at all?
No.
Okay.
And
That's
then,
a big part of the problem. And you know, are you kind of bringing him to me to see what I can do?
Yes.
All right. And I get that all the time. And in fact, I get it every time I'm around the country lecturing or what have you at churches or what have you. And the parents come and ask if I would mentor the child from Chicago and they live in St. Louis or Seattle. So can't do it. But let me ask you this. Do you go to church?
No.
All right. Well,
I
let's
go
start
occasionally,
there.
but he
Because
knows.
that's what I tell the folks who approach me. I say, do you go to church? They say, yeah, most of them. I say, well, go to your pastor. That's what your pastor's there for, counseling. And who better to counsel than a young man in need? That's what your pastor, you go there and you pay your tithes and your offering.
Right.
And to that extent, I developed a program, a church-based mentorship program where every church can form a mentorship program with the men who are there to mentor the young men who are in need. And all it really takes is the pastor or the head of a certain ministry or committee. You know, everybody want to be important at the church. one of these would-be important people. Go to the pastor and say, Pastor, here's a program that the judge put together. Well, all we need is to get 10 men to volunteer for 6 months. Every 6 months, get 10 different men to volunteer and mentor these young men. And we need you, Pastor, to implement it. So you all go to AskJudgeMathis.com because we're launching that church-based mentorship program, and it will be available for every church or parishioner to pull down off of that internet site, take it to their church, A to Z, every step of the way, how to start and operate a church-based mentorship program. So, judge can't be everywhere, but now the judge is on Ask Judge Mathis, showing all these pastors and parishioners how to get mentorship for the young men of single mothers who are committed to paying their tithes and offering. Pastor, we need you to show a little commitment back. It don't cost you nothing. All right. So that's my advice.
Okay.
That's the best help I can give them today.
Okay.
Developed a program, a church-based mentorship program where every church can form a mentorship program with the men who are there to mentor the young men who are in need.
Plaintiff Veronica Travier is suing her son, and she claims today is her final attempt to save her son from a life of destruction.
Let me hear your story, sir. Why don't you tell me about your behavior and your background?
All right, well, I like to say that I love my mother to death. And
that's about what's to happen, too. That's about what's going to happen. You're going to love her to death, literally. It's called heart attack. It's called stroke from stress. Go ahead.
I admit that I made a couple mistakes, but I am trying to better myself.
How many mistakes?
A lot.
Okay, that's more than a couple?
Yeah. But I'm trying to better myself. Well, I didn't got a job. I mean, I got a daughter now that I got to provide for.
When was the last time you were in trouble?
Last week.
All right. When did you get your job?
Last Thursday.
So
2
Thursdays ago.
2 Thursdays ago.
Yeah.
Yet last week you got in trouble. Huh?
Yes.
So a job doesn't stop you from getting in trouble. What else you want me to know?
Well, I'm trying to enroll in school so I can get into a
Good. How are you trying?
by going online and registering.
Okay, you did register?
Yes.
Good. Where?
Macomb Community College.
Community College, a very good community college. Good. All right. You know, I'm Michigan area. You all know I'm Detroit area, just like you all. So that's a good first step. Did he? Is he registered for Macomb?
I do not know.
All right. Your mother don't know?
I did it on my own.
I know, but you didn't share the information?
No.
All right, that's why I don't believe you're there either. You have some evidence of that?
No.
All right, because if you'd have registered in college and gotten in college, all the destructive things you done done with your mother, all the headaches you've caused her, all these other, that's the first person you'd have run to. Mama, I got in college. I told you I'm trying to do the right thing. Get out of here with that nonsense. Hear from you, man. Take that little minor game to somebody who don't know it. Go ahead, ma'am. And why are you suing him? $3,832.
Well, I received an email from the bank regarding Dominique's checking account, which I'm a signer on. Mm-hmm. Dominique willingly deposited 4 checks into that account, one of which his name is only on one of those checks. The other 3, one of his friends' name is on. Dominique knew that those checks weren't any good. So now the bank is coming after me for the balance. So they took the funds that I had in my primary checking account and my younger son's checking account, whatever monies we had, which is not a lot. I don't have a lot of money, and to apply it towards his debt, which I have the letter stating how much money they're coming after me for. I have the bank statement and copies of all 4 of the checks and the purchases that were made against the checks before the checks cleared, plus the non-sufficient fund fees.
All right. Although I know you're about to try to run some more game on me, I have to allow you to defend yourself. What do you say about this $3,832 worth of checks she said you?
Well, I was working for a lady. She said she had a construction company. So I was doing construction for like a month and a half, and she paid me with some checks.
Dominique.
The checks, I guess, was fraud. And I slid the checks through there thinking that they was all right.
Okay. See, ma'am, you should have allowed him to go to jail one of these times, or juvenile. You gotta allow it. And I know parents don't want to do that, but typically in most states, I noticed to be a fact, they have some type of youthful offender act. So if the young person is under 25 and is convicted of a crime, usually that conviction comes along with a deferral, meaning if they stay out of trouble for a year, it never goes on their record. He already got that?
Yes. And
they're gonna send you to the penitentiary next, Doc, and that's your next step. You've gotten a break. That's a second chance. It allows you to avoid a conviction if you stay out of trouble for a year. Now, it sounds like you just don't want to get that second chance. So then just stop wasting your time, man. Just go to the penitentiary and tell them to let you in. Let's go. Keep hanging hanging around, just go. Taking your time.
'Cause I'm
wasting her
tired.
time. Now you're wasting my time today.
Plaintiff Veronica Travier is suing her son, and she claims today is her final attempt to save her son from a life of destruction.
So, $3,832, young man. What do you say to that? You say it was because they defrauded you and therefore you shouldn't have to pay for it? That's what you want to tell me?
No, I don't. I think the bank should pay for it because they know the check was fraud.
Okay.
How you gonna say the bank should pay for that? See, that goes to show where your smarts are. You really don't know what you're talking about. You willingly deposit those checks, Dominique. You knew that.
All right, young man. That sounds like something a young person might say. All right, she gave me bad checks, and so when I didn't know they were bad, so therefore I don't owe. Well, the legal fact is, when your mom and you were on the same bank account, when she put her name on there as essentially a co-signer, you all had an agreement. That's an agreement. That's a contract. The contract says that you will pay for the things that happen to this account. So if something happens to your mother with regard to this account, your agreement is you are responsible because it's principally your account. She's the co-signer. So you have broken that contract to be responsible. Now, what you must do is meet your end of the bargain, and then you sue the bank, or you sue the person who gave you the fraudulent check or who made the mistake. Bring them to me, all right? And we can deal with them, and you probably will win for a change in court. But today, Mom wins, and young man, you say you're in Macomb, which is a great school. We're going to verify that. Do you mind us verifying it? And if it's not true, can we get you to agree that you'll allow us to help you do what you say you're doing or want to do?
Yeah.
Huh? You agree to that? Good enough. So you'll be in there one way or the other, whether we help you or whether what you say is true. That's good news. Give him a hand. All right. $3,832 for the plaintiff. And reverends and pastors, I hope you heard me. We're going to be launching a church-based mentorship program that's already on my Ask Judge Mathis website. You just print it right out and you have A to Z on how to mentor these young folks in your church by getting adults to mentor the young. All right, good luck to you. You better go to church. That's part of your problem. You ain't take the boy to church.
Well, actually, he's been to the Kingdom
You
Hall.
don't go.
He has some.
You don't go.
I do.
They put
Judge,
you
I
out.
do.
Judgment for the plaintiff.
I love him too. I really love him. I just want him to get his life together and to get, just get on the right path. He has another life he brought into this world, and I just want him to be on the right path from here on out. And I hope he learned his lesson, because he's really putting me in a bind with that money.
Well, I did, and I'm sorry for doing all that.
All right.
Love you.
I love you too.